what do you say to these kids just to keep them looking to see tomorrow?
What I would want the kids to take away from it, a lot of the kids that's going back home and have to go back to the struggle of what life is like at home. I would want them to know that it's not gonna be, it's not a forever thing. And you can change the environment in which you live in.
My name is Ronald Smith. I'm with the playlist, and I am blessed right now to speak to two gentlemen right here who, my goodness gracious, put on something beautiful, but they work together. Y'all be surprised what else they can do. I'm talking with Mark Ciardi, and the story of what the movie is based upon, Mr. Ray Mcelrathbey. And now I just want to go first of this film, SAFTEY, because it resembles so much of what college athletes go with on a daily basis. You know, the sport is always there, that's their passion. People don't talk about the outside of it, the things that they deal with. And what Ray, with your story has touched them with. So once you said that you didn't feel this was real, like you never thought something like this would become a thing. Now we're here in 2020. Has it fully set in that your story is now a full-length film?
Oh no, not at all. I think a year from now, it would all make sense. Gave it everyone has given me a reaction from it, or told me how they've seen it and things like that. And so I think after that point, I'll be able to believe everything that's transpired because it's happening over a period of so many years for me at this point. So it makes it a little difficult to be hyped in the moment just because, but it's just a real feeling and it doesn't feel real. So it's almost like, you've been through so much in your life and to have something like this happen to you of this magnitude, it's crazy because it's Disney and it's a movie about
Exactly.
me. Yeah.
Hey, even still with that, like your story with your brother, like for you, that was just a way of life for yourself. Like you were fighting for something that you believed in and something that held so dear to you. And so with you trying to now watching it back to yourself, seeing it on the screen, reflecting upon it, has it come to say that everything that you and your brother went through to the journey of it in the end was worth it?
Well, the moment I took advantage of being able to take care of him, it was worth it. Um, just the opportunity, if nothing else, to practice being a parent. And that's what I tell my brother Famar, because he sometimes struggles with what decision he made in this particular uh within the movie to be like, I'm a hero, but not, you're a hero to me because I was allowed to take care of you. I was allowed to practice with you, something that I get to be a better father for. It made me a better dad. And if you did anything to improve my son's life, who is my world at this current moment, then you are a hero to me. You are a great person. You are helping the world as I know it be a better place. So I try to convey that to him to let him know and to let other people know that, hey, I was practicing myself, and there was a lot of things that I had to learn, and that I'm fortunate to be able to have went through that with a younger man who can articulate it then and as well as now how he felt and what I was doing and how I was doing it, and so that's important. And I like to thank him from that, and thank the guys over at Disney and Mark, the producer, for giving me the opportunity to live my life in the manner in which I'm able to live it at this current moment.
And just on that with Mark, you have created stories that have either gone from a ragtag of underdogs going against the Goliaths through athletes who felt that their careers were already done, but able to find a way to blossom and obtain that one thing that they thought they could never do. But to now going to a story that's more about winning titles or making it to the big dance, it's just more about the love of family. And for how long it took you to get this film put up together, can you say that in the end you're like, yeah, I'm glad the story was fully showed out to the public?
Yeah, no, you make a good point because this movie's not about, winning a national championship or being an All-American or, intercepting the game-winning touchdown. It's not at all. It's about really everything that happens off the field. I mean, he's a football player. Ray went through everything. He's a D1, scholarship athlete. That's a big deal, and we had to get the football right and get that setting right. And God, it was such an amazing time to shoot at Clemson during a real live football game. But yeah, everything, you got to get on the field, but you got to get off the field. That's where the emotion is, and that's where really this story kind of can move you. It's what got me interested when it happened in 2006. When Ray was in college. We've been together on this a long time, and like you asked earlier, it's definitely surreal for him. I never wanted to give up on this movie. I knew it could make a really great movie that people would love, and you just got to be persistent as a producer. So I'm really happy for Ray that he gets to experience this, and that his story is going to touch so many people.
And the main theme of the film, when I was watching it, it was family, not just your inner family, but anybody mostly can be your family. That's what Clemson was for Ray. Clemson was family. So for both of you, I would love to know, what does family in your heart means for you?
Family is everything. Family is everything. It's the beginning. It's the end. It's right up there with God, faith, and family. So yeah. So I mean, it's always been paramount in my life. It's because I've had some struggles, and through it all, my family has also been there for me. So family is everything. Sacrifice is also a word in there, and just the sacrifices that you would make for your family, for your loved ones, and sometimes for people that you don't know are very important as well. So that's my thoughts on it.
For me, I mean, I'm like, while you asked that question, I'm like, man, what's happened since 2006? I had a small 3-year-old child and one on the way, and now one's in college. Just came home a few days ago from his freshman year at Oregon State, and I got another one here, ready to leave in a year and a half. And it's amazing how time flies. Listen, Ray was a parent to his brother all those years ago. Now he's got a 5-year-old son himself, and I think he would attest that he's a better parent because of that story. Listen, I think these movies touch people, and they can learn from an example. It's great to have role models. I'm sure Ray didn't feel like he was going to be a role model to so many people, but it's these small stories that really resonate. And it did when they did a little clip on him when it was happening in real time all those years ago. And man, we're just happy to be able to get this chance to tell this story and really touch some people. I think the timing is perfect. The world needs it.
Speaking of that, because you're exactly right to how the world has been in 2020, and sometimes we forget, because we always move so fast. We never get time to really sit back and just really look at what we have. And especially too with this film, especially for myself as a former athlete, the one thing that resonated with me the most was that athletes like me and people who look like me who see Ray, and they know the struggles it is to be in college, and you don't get a lot of money. A lot of things, finance, of taking care of things you got to worry about with your family back at home, and knowing that you're supposed to concentrate on one thing, but you got like piles and piles of things you have to worry about and you can't forget about. And it's a struggle. So I would love to know, for the people who will see this, the inner city kids who are going to see this, and they're going to be in school, and they know they have a big break on their heart trying to carry so much load. What do you hope they get out of watching this?
There's a saying in the movie that I got to say. It starts off as, once the task has begun, never leave until it's done. Be not labeled great or small. Do it well or not at all. With that particular chant, I think if it's something that they live by, is to remember to do everything you do well, or don't participate. Like they said, if you're gonna be the best sweeper, be the world's best sweeper. If you're gonna push a broom, push a mop, push that mop hard. If you're folding clothes, be the world's best folder. And so just remember to try to move in excellence. And if opportunity comes from effort. So if you put in the effort, the opportunities will come. It's kind of like what they say with The Secret. You are as a man thinketh. So control your thoughts, control your actions, continue to move forward, and never give up, and understand that failure is not an option.
That means so much to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. And as former athletes, both of you, as yourself, a lot of kids who watch athletes just as you, they get that little inspiration, that hope in their heart to not only be like them, but I would say also be the person that they are on the inside. So I'd love to know through you guys, were there any athletes they inspired you, whether it be on the field or off the field, that made you say that I wanted to be like you?
Ooh. I mean, for me, it was, I mean, I played baseball, I pitched, and, you watch TV and you see these guys, Tom Seaver, Ron Guidry. I was
Oh,
a
you know them.
Yankee and
Yeah.
Met fan. And, it's, God, watching all those when I was young, and those late '70s. This is before your time, Ronald, but, yeah, Guidry, Chambliss, Catfish Hunter, Reggie Jackson, oh man, that was like, it was such a far off thing, and dream, so I mean, I got to live it. I got into the big leagues just for a tiny bit, but I got to kind of realize a boyhood dream. And you just gotta, I don't think you can't fear things in life, right? You got to just, if you can visualize it and work hard, like Ray said, things can happen. It might not be getting on a baseball or football field to the higher level, but man, there's different levels. Even if you're a young kid, just, I remember just trying to make a high school team. That was like a big dream of mine. And then just keep going, this movie could be an example for anything. It just happens that he was a football player, so I feel like, you know, the movie's going to inspire kids because, like you said, a lot of distractions. We all played, and we're athletes, and I can't imagine doing more than studying and trying to play, or just playing after I was in school. Like, but to have to be a father, and then all the other distractions at home with what's going on with your family and worrying, and God, it's a lot to pile on anybody. And but for kids to see this and realize that there's hope, and there's ways of persevering through this. I think that's what you want to take away from a movie. And if you can show that and inspire people and entertain them, then we're doing our job.
Guys that inspire me. You got to think of the greats for me because I came up. I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and so
Mm.
in the '90s you had Jordan to be inspired by. But Kobe Bryant a lot of the times would say some profound things that I gravitated towards, and then even well, most recently it hasn't necessarily even been an athlete that said something. Will Smith would say that he's an athlete, but he's never played professional sports. But he said something I think is profound. In order to be free, I have to be me. And so I think as an athlete, we have to find ourselves in a lot of the times because we grow up having to mirror a lot of the guys that we want to become because that's the way we see a formula that works in. So we want to jump in on a formula. And so I think just guys like Walter Payton was a very influential person as far as I was concerned too, because I liked his work ethic. And I liked how he said, dying was considered an option before quitting. And and that is those type of things that keep me going, that inspired me as a young athlete.
For me growing up, it was more of like, again, as a New York boy, it was always like David Wright, Mike Piazza,
Right.
Jeter. So
Yeah.
I can't cut that off,
Jeter.
even if I tried. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but those were the stories that really kept me up whenever I played, and especially too going in spaces where you don't even know. You're a fish out of water because you're all learning the same thing that this movie kind of showed us for. And what I think I would love to know with you guys, both of you, this question for safety is, in the end of the day, everyone struggles basically the same thing. While one struggle, you hear everyone have the same thing. It's something that's never going to leave. So I would love to know just one last thing for both of you, for these people who will, when it's all said and done, have to go back home and see it happen again. When it's all said and done for them, for this movie, what do you say to them? What do you say to these kids just to keep them looking to see tomorrow?
For me, God, you see role models, you see people that look like you. I often said, what's great about the film business and the changes that have happened in the last few years are, you can have black stars, you can have movies about diversity, And years ago, I've told this. I said, probably for this movie to have gone years ago, they would have said, okay, what star can be one of the coaches? What white star can be one of the coaches? And that's changed now because the movie's the star. You can do movies about diversity, and young kids can see in themselves, young Black inner city kids, that might not feel a lot of hope, can watch this movie and go, wow, I can identify with this story and this struggle. And man, he persevered, and then you see the clips at the end of the movie, and the real guy and the real Ray, and what he's done. And he got his master's degree before leaving there. Within the 3 or 4 years he was there, it's an amazing accomplishment, with given all the struggles. So it just means that you can overcome things, right? And you can see people and identify. That's what everybody's, with Obama, that's what moved him, is that people see, Kamala Harris, they see themselves. Little Black girls can see, that it's possible, that things are possible. So I mean, that's great, because you don't always have people to identify. And I think that's what's changed over the last few years, for sure. Now it's like, forget it. If you don't have diversity in your story, it's not even getting made. I mean, that's how it's done a 180 from maybe even 5 years ago.
What I would want the kids to take away from it, a lot of the kids that's going back home and have to go back to the struggle of what life is like at home, I would want them to know that it's not a forever thing. And you can change the environment in which you live in. It might take a little time, but if you are the best version of yourself, then you can change your situation. And if you continue to move forward, education is key. Learn as much as you can learn as fast as you can. And that's the way out of your situation. Be smart, continue reading, find someone smarter than you to hang with, and just keep going. Never give up. And do everything well. Everything that you touch, you try to make better.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing will last forever, and I love that. Even hearing that from you guys makes me. I can't break my smile. I can't tell you that much. But gentlemen, I really appreciated you both here today. I was a blast talking to both of you. Mark Ciardi, Ray Mcelrathbey, SAFTEY. What a great movie. Y'all, I hope y'all have a good day. Stay safe out there, right? Because life gets too hard out there, okay? So
You too, Ronald. Thank you
very much.